Sampokeka, how are you, sir?
Yes, sir, and how are you, sir?
I'm well. We'll get to that. I don't want to go to there quite yet. I want to go to Mamluri now, scoring an avalanche of goals.
Yeah, sure. But it was a moment, it was sad for me over the weekend to see Marumo Galangs and Siwelele being supported by one group of fans, and they were divided in their rituals as they performed there. You know them,
because they're both Bloemfontein teams. So the fans really support both teams.
I don't know. One scored, and I don't know who celebrated them more.
Another big thing that happened this weekend is two. You can pick which one you're talking about, Chetamo, because with Kukune losing their first game, with Pirates and Chiefs moving on in CAF competitions.
Yeah, of course, it's brilliant. We always talk about it, that we need more teams to represent us in CAF tournaments, because that gives our players experience and it benefits Bafana in the long run.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here on Soccer Zone. Welcome to them, Angela Ngube, he's Tom Pokekana and Thabo Sinong. But that's not the entire team. The team does consist of the Super Journal, the best when it comes to news in this country, alongside Victor Hlungwane, the principal.
You have a former Lesotho coach who's divided between Lesotho and South Africa. Right. We're going straight into Chippa United. Chippa United wrote a letter to the league complaining about a penalty, whether it was correct or not. So this is Soccer Zone. We're going to tell you whether this penalty was correctly given or not. And then we'll say, is it Sako Saseka or Saseka?
Well, as you sit at home, there's a conversation we'd like to have, and it is already on our social media pages. Now, Kaizer Chiefs, iyaguma penalty uzidlulele kuround CAF Confederations Cup. Ucabangani ngabo mesebefika kuma group stages mebedlale kanzima kangaka besa kuma qualification ongena kuma group stages. Ngicela ukubuza kuwena, uwena babukele, uwena basupportayo, ucabangani ngeqembu lakho nendlela eselidlale ngayo. Well, right now though, let's go to the man that South Africa waits for every single Monday. It's the man with the news, the Super Journal.
Yeah, let's kick it off with the news that shook South Africa to the core this afternoon. And I'm sure some people are still quite in disbelief around FIFA's confirmation, a story that we broke on sabcsport.com just 2 weeks ago, that FIFA were going to start an investigation. And they've come out quickly with a final outcome that Bafana officially docked points. Now, the South African Football Association has responded around that ineligibility of Teboho Mokoena, and this is a statement. I'll read it to you quickly. We are deeply disappointed by this unprecedented outcome, and this is where it gets interesting. Delivered by a single-member panel without reasons and without giving SAFA a chance to represent legal arguments. We have requested written reasons and will lodge a formal appeal with FIFA's appeals committee within the 10-day window provided under FIFA rules.
Ngiyakuzwa Mazola, ngiyakubona nokushiwo SAFA lapha kodwa ke asibuke ukuthi yini phambi kwethu. What do we know for sure? But before we even go there, Kampo, I didn't give you an opportunity to speak about this earlier on. It's a big blow for us.
Big blow for us, and I don't think we wanted to go that route of now Rencheri calculator, trying to calculate our fate to the World Cup. But of course, we need to look at ourselves as South Africans, because I do believe that when our league is doing that much well in the world, I think this is the part where we should do a lot of things better.
So you've worked in administration, you understand how it all works. The question being asked continuously is, whose fault is it, as if there's one person that is the one that should be blamed for all of this?
Well, normally the communications with regard to updates will always go to a team manager. But I also just feel the entire coaching staff should take the blame, because then what is the role of the goalkeeper coach, video analyst, assistant coach, and the entire team? Is to take stats, data, collect information so that they compile reports. And then you are able to say, okay, maybe Mokoena is not eligible to play this game because according to the technical reports, data, stats collected, he's got so many yellow cards. So I just think it's a collective error from everyone that is involved, because the job of the technical team is to support the head coach with data and stats.
So as it's South Africa now second. We've got 14 points, but As it stands, of course, we have less goal difference at -3 compared to Benin's -4. This is because we had 5 goals taken from us. The 2 goals that we scored against Lesotho, and then the 3 goals being docked for the ineligibility.
The 2 matches that are here at home, we need to make sure that we maximize. The 6 points we have to take the 6 point, of course, with a lot of goals, because then it will give us a position to sit on top of the log. Obviously, we cannot bank on anybody at this particular moment. We just make sure that we win our matches.
We can win our matches and score all of the goals. If Benin do the same, it's as simple as that. They go through. And as far as qualifying second is concerned, if you go look at those second position qualifiers, we're nowhere near the ballpark. Mazur.
Yeah, Andile, calculators are up, and I'll tell you who else has got a calculator in his end, but for a different reason. Coach Nasreddin Nabi, we are told, as per our understanding, the happenings out at Naturena, the reason why you haven't heard or seen any formal communications, that locked-in discussions between Kaizer Chiefs as well as Nasreddin Nabi around potential settlement thereof. The coach still had a 1-year contract, I believe, with an option to renew. So if you do the maths there, it's a full season alongside an extension, which was at the discretion of the club to renew. As soon as we have that story and the full information to take it forward, we'll let you know on sabcsport.com. We are going to stick with the Soweto Giants, Kaizer Chiefs, a story where my colleague Velile Mnyandu sat down with the sporting director at Kaizer Chiefs, Kaizer Motaung Jr., speaking around the loan policy of young players up and coming who some thought would get an opportunity elsewhere before the window slammed shut last week.
We had other plans for those young players, but they've done tremendously well, and it's sometimes better to retain your young talent with you in the same environment while they still get minutes maybe at TDC, but to be able to train with the first team, get that training, understand the game model, as opposed to just saying you're loaning a player for the sake of loaning a player. So I think it's a balance. It's a balance between how we manage the man management, the minutes, the training preparation, and I think it's an ongoing process. At the same time, I mean, injuries happen. We know exactly the impact of injuries, so we're very mindful of the fact that you could loan out or remove certain players now and you find yourself in a tough situation later.
Yeah, sticking with from one Soweto Giant to another, Orlando Pirates are preparing at the minute to face TS Galaxy tomorrow night at Orlando Stadium. I did catch up with Coach Adnan Beganovic of the Rockets, who interestingly enough spoke about the 2 players that are currently doing well for the mighty Buccaneers. That's Lebone Siema as well as Mike Sibilibele.
For Mike, I know he just needs a couple games to start to play, to go to the game, and then he have a quality to play. But from Sema Lebona, I'm surprised because, yes, how you say, we give him chance many times to try with him, and then he, some players need to change the club to show all potential. Maybe he feel that club, it's a good opportunity for him, and he play well in last 6 games, 5 games. How much Orlando play? I think he play well. And then if he continue like that, he can be a good player for Orlando.
Let's wrap it up now. And Tatana did touch on this story, and he'll come up and explain it a little bit further for those who are still unsure. Over the weekend, sabcsport.com breaking that story around Chipa United sending a complaint to SAFA and the PSL about the conduct and the officiating of Ntate Khumalo when they played Sekhukhune last week. We are now hearing that the review committee is going to only make recommendations around whether the referee should be suspended or not, but Tatana will break it down. But those who want to put out a docket at the South African Police Services, it's up to the club. The review committee is not responsible of that. They are only supposed to make recommendations. But Tatana is going to come up and shake it all up.
The hot property in the Premier League, Dion Otto. Junior Dion, rather. This guy is killing people this week.
Tashrik Matthews has been very, very influential with assists and also with the goal scoring and final entry actions. Very impressive.
Striker Sakasitavelang is Yanela Mbutuma. I always believe that he's got what it takes to play for a big team. He needed the opportunities like this to showcase his talent.
Was getting in that box in that game at Orlando, and of course should have had a hat-trick perhaps, but here he is, Yanela Mbutuma, Tashreeq Matthews or Junior Dion, goal scorers this past week in the PSL as well as CAF competitions. Good. Somtanda Njengo Fish. Who is it that you are going with there? All right, Mazolo, delivering some news there. Tatana is going to be coming through to tell us about the Chippa United one, because the question is, was Chippa right to complain? Both penalties were given, and Tatana is going to be giving us a glimpse of to how that all worked. Cardiff Black Label, that's also coming up. You guys have started to vote in your thousands, but who are you voting for as the champion fans? We'll have to take a look at that as well.
A goal! Chiefs are right back in the contest. Zidane, Waprika, Waya, Ibabu Peterson. Aiden McCarthy, Ngabutu Molukuena, Wheele, McCarthy, I beg him not to by Kita, Ikabuskop, Yasa Olan, Yasa, Angola, I Kita, I Kupela Kapaj.
Both teams seeing themselves go through, of course, after this qualification round. Orlando Pirates doing it with an avalanche of goals, and on the other side, Kaizer Chiefs having to go to penalties. The question is, according to what you've seen, Kaizer Chiefs in these qualification rounds, did they do enough to have confidence in them going into the group stages? One of the players that sticks out, of course, when you take a look at this is Lilepo. He's a player that many are saying a lot rides on him and his shoulders at Kaizer Chiefs as a goal scorer.
You know, I was telling Coach Tabo off air that this is the player that if I was a coach of Kaizer Chiefs, I was going to play him right up as a striker. Somebody who is always wants to take shots at goals. You can tell that he's got goals in him. He just needs to be in a position where he can try to have those moments freely. So I think wherever he's playing, I think he's far from actions, far from the goals. And as a team like Kaizer Chiefs, you need a player of him, his aggression and his raw man in how he approaches the game.
Tabo, Lilepo?
Brilliant player. I've always believed and said that he's a good signing for Amakosi. However, an attacker like him, because he's so explosive, he needs to be in a setup whereby sometimes they slow up the tempo of the game with how they manage ball possession from Poyuno. Yeah. So I still feel that the central midfielders for Kaizer Chiefs, whether it's Kele and Mtetwa or be it Ngobo or Mtetwa, they need to sometimes be patient in their ball circulation, focus on control, dominance, to allow the attackers such as Dodidi Lepo, even Ashlyn to preach just to recover a bit and again get the right moment to apply good football actions.
If you saw that last action, you can tell that the man wants to be in the box. And if you are a coach of that Kaizer Chiefs team, you deny him to have so much freedom outside because he looks dangerous when he's playing in front of the box. He can take shots, he's got technique, he knows how to drive with the ball, he's quick. You want to play for him. And I think he can be helpful for Kaizer Chiefs because in 7 games, of course, he doesn't score much because he's wide
it's the
out.
return, Trump, because look at that, 32 shots, 14 on target. Chippa United have written to the league. They're unhappy about some of the decisions that were made in the game they played against Kukuna United. 2 of those resulted in penalties. Well, let's have a look at them with the man that's got the eye that sees way after with technology. It's the ref in the ref's corner.
Let's start with Kaizer Chiefs and Marumo Gallant. There's a penalty given to Kaizer Chiefs. Let's see if the penalty was correctly given. Here we see Dupree getting into the penalty area, as you can see, and then as he tries to pass, Kosana there is falling down, and then he makes contact with the ball from the shoulder to the hand. What does the law say? The law says the ball that comes from your body to the hand. You can see there is the shoulder first, so it's from the shoulder to the hand. There is no handball offense committed because the law says this is a justifiable moment of that particular action in this particular situation. So therefore, incorrect decision given for a penalty, Ashisa Sekang. Let's go to the next one. We see De Jong. De Jong was tripped inside the penalty area. Assistant referee has a better view than the referee there, but no assistant came in. We're going to show you what happened here. We call it tripping an opponent. Really, there's two offenses that happens. The first one is tripping by Pochenpoel there on De Jong. He doesn't play the ball. He played the man. He also get him on the knee there to make sure that he does not go anywhere. So when a player does like this, is tripping inside the penalty area, penalty should have been awarded. It was not given as Sekang. Let's go to Umhlekazi. Umhlekazi uyakhala, you know. Bafaki penalty angizwisisi Umhlekazi khala kusoka zone. Asikubonisa ke ukuthi no. Hiyo le penalty akusiyo na. We seen Ndlovu them who was adjudged to have pushed an attacker there. But what does Ndlovu do? You can see Ndlovu there plays the ball. So when he plays the ball, where is the offense? Ayikho le offense committed kusihlali there. So clear, fair challenge, no offense committed, but a penalty was given. Hence, Chipa is crying. So Chipa, here you have a point because we can clearly say to you that the defender, Ndlovu, played the ball. He never played the man. Fair challenge, Asisa Sekang.
Oh, there it is. Chipper, you've correct. We've backed you up. You can take this video, cut it up, and then send it through with your complaint. Let's take a quick break.